Perfect. We are back then. About your other podcast after WrestleMania edition. I know a few other big outlets have done theirs. Took some time to gather everything, and I'm glad we did because not only did WrestleMania happen, not only did we get Darby's first title defense this week, we all of a sudden start to see Brandon Thurston turn into the MVP at TMZ here about all these WWE stories. Um, and of course, as always, a a higher up in a corporation that they're so detached from has to come out and make a stupid comment in regards to creative control. So, where would you like to begin, Dan? You want to jump WrestleMania? You want to talk headline stories? What you want to do, sir?
Let's do. Let's just get right into WrestleMania.
Okay. So, let's start off a little bit hot. Are we both agreeing night one was dog shit?
Yes,
Okay.
100%.
And
100%.
I wanted to ask you this. If night two was just as bad, do you think the spec the spectacle that is WrestleMania would have been dead?
I don't think it would have been dead. I think it would have taken a huge hit, though, for sure. And it would have put them in a position where next year they would have had like no leeway but to have an all-out classic. But they would have been stuck with that stink and stigma for a year,
It's very
for sure.
eerie how this is starting to feel like the downfall of the UFC to me. And the only saving grace is Paramount gave UFC $7 billion, and they know they're not going to make that back. But they had to
Right.
take a swing at something, right? And I guess this kind of ties into the one headline of the clown Mark Shapiro claims TKO has full creative control over WWE. And maybe that's why the build up to WrestleMania felt like crap. Because now the story is Pat McAfee's no longer in the story because he wanted to pull himself out because of how bad the backlash was getting with him being involved. And he already didn't want to do it the first time that Ari and Mark Shapiro asked him to be involved. So then they forced him to be involved, probably. And then he says, I'm out when everything hits the fan. That's why, I feel like probably dead's not the correct term. But if night two was just as bad as night one, I don't think they would recover. Ticket sales were bad. There was thousands of tickets that were bought at a group rate I read 2 nights before. So they're either having the arena buy tickets, somebody on staff
Like
buy
Groupon.
tickets, right? Or just buying them in bulk to give them away to a foundation or something, right? It's not it's it's not the same ticket count that we are used to seeing. However, let's start it off. LA Knight and the Usos defeated Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and I Showed Speed. Okay. I Show Speed went from the pole into the table. Pretty decent. Did WrestleMania deserve this match? This felt like a Monday after WrestleMania match. You know what I mean? I feel like if they would have started Monday after WrestleMania with this, it would have been pretty hot. Right? I feel like this would have been oh, this is pretty cool. Unsanctioned Jacob and Drew. Jacob defeats Drew. What are your thoughts?
I mean, it was fine. Again, it's another
I think they were
could
restrained
have
by
been
the time.
a lesser pay-per-view for sure, right? I don't think it's a weekly show match, obviously, but I don't know if it's WrestleMania. But in theory, it was like a pre-show, which
Do
is
you?
weird in itself.
Yeah, because they stopped that however many years ago. Do you think if they gave them more time, it could have been as good as Punk and Drew in Hell in the Cell?
even with more time, no. But I mean, if maybe they had given him a better spot and put it not on this pre-show that was on cable, where they probably did have to restrict a little of what they could do. Maybe it could have been better that way, but otherwise, no, I don't think so. I just wasn't that invested in that match, right? Like,
Yeah, the build up to a lot of night one has been terrible. But I do feel when I say more time, I'm expecting to be on the actual main card. And I'm saying if you at least give them 30 to 45 minutes and you tell Jacob to go out there and do your GCW stuff, I think that match has the potential. Obviously, we can't say if it is or if it isn't. It's based on potential. I think that match would have the potential to be better than Drew and Punk in Hell in a Cell, just based on what we've seen Jacob be able to do at GCW, and we've seen what Drew's been crazy enough to do in the Hell in a Cell. For instance, when he goes for that kick, the Claymore, and he hits the middle
mhm.
of his spine right on the edge of the stairs. There was about maybe one other guy on the roster that I would say would try that, and I think he was in the ring with that guy. I don't think Punk's doing it at his age. I don't think Roman's going to do that at his age right now. Cody's not doing it. Cody will take the bump some other way, but I don't think Cody's taking that bump. I think he learned how much torment it was when he tried to wrestle with the torn bicep. And then we'll get to it later on night one card. How all of a sudden he's bleeding from the back of his head like he's a lawn hose out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like I think those are the right two guys to go hardcore, but you have to give them the time and place to do hardcore. You can't say, okay, here's a quick 15 minutes. We want to see it get bloody. And I think if you're clearly cutting that off, that this is the final bout, I have no problem if you associate Drew with a Hell in a Cell match again. Because you could honestly say it's his thing. He brings the opponent to hell to finish what he wants to finish. And I think that's fine for him. I think that's the thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. I'm
Be,
gonna look up some
well,
stats on that.
because if you're not going to put him, like, I think we both believe he's not going to get a shot at a belt anytime soon, correct?
Probably not. Although they are kind of random like that because now, right, like maybe Punk is going after Cody and we can talk about that. But, like they might just randomly have him attack Roman,
Well,
after Jacob's done, or have him attack Jacob as part of this like tease they're doing with Roman. But, you know, what's interesting about, because I agree with you about Drew and Hell in a Cell, like if this is right, I'm reading he's 0-3,
yeah.
which is crazy.
Um, but it's just I don't know, like I don't like I think if you're gonna bring back the pre card with all the talking they do before that, I think you only put one match on there and you give who's ever on there the time to go do a solid match. You don't try and squeeze this in and get like 13 matches in like an AEW PLE. Like you just say we're gonna have Sam Ramets open up the show. You got 40 minutes. Go. You got the green light,
Yeah.
right? Like I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah, it's weird because they weren't throwaway matches like a lot of pre-show matches are, but they didn't end up being great either. Well, I guess the six man tag was a little bit of a throwaway, but like the Jacob Drew isn't a throwaway, so it's weird,
No,
you know. And on night two, neither is Ova Brock and the ladder match. So
Jacob
I don't know. It's weird,
Jacob versus Drew was 14 minutes.
right?
That's so disrespectful to the both of them. that triple threat match got 7 minutes. And do you think Drew's done with WWE? Because I saw that pop up too.
I don't think so, but I guess you never know, right? Like this is what's
He he
so good about
he
wrestling. Like,
yeah, but he would be a guy they would open up the checkbook for, correct? Or do you think they would let him walk?
well, I'm looking now. Are we sure it's up?
What?
His contract? Because
I've been I haven't been able to confirm, but I've been reading stuff leading up that it was soon and then 2 months after WrestleMania. So like I haven't been able to confirm, but I'm just saying like if we don't see him for a bit, are you thinking they're keeping him off TV or you think he's negotiating?
I think. Oh, okay, here it is. Well, no, I don't think he is because Fightful reported in 2025 that he signed a 4-year deal.
Okay, so he's there for okay, so then he's good.
So he's there. So whatever they're doing is just
Keeping him
who
off for a bit.
knows. Maybe
Yeah.
because they don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, because they screwed him over again. Um
Right. And they have that problem a lot now
and
where they don't know what to do with people.
specifically with him. Like
Yeah,
it's
him and Finn for a long time.
yeah. And then following that, we had the women's tag match, Fatal Four Way, Paige, Brie Bella defeating Irresistible Forces, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Bailey, and Lyra. I thought Bailey and Lyra were walking away with the titles here.
I think I thought it was the Bella twins, and then when I learned that that she was the one wasn't going to be fighting, when Nikki wasn't going to be in it, I thought, oh well, they'll probably pivot now. And then when it was Paige as the replacement, I thought maybe, but I still didn't think so because I thought the whole point of it was going to be the Bellas given a run, but uh, like I said, maybe they're doing like the Freebird rule and they're just going to wait till Nikki's ready to go. I don't know what the timeline is for her, but
Yeah.
um, so I'm not surprised because I thought it was going to be the Bellas
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, what did she say? Fracture, sprain, and a torn tendon in the picture I sent you? So that's going to be out for a while.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like she's lucky she don't need surgery. Um, and then Gunther and Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker returns to screw over Seth. Thoughts? How long was this match? Oh Jesus, 15
That
minutes for this thing.
match for which one? For Gunther and
Yeah,
Seth? I have it at almost 18. Did you say 18
I said 15.
or 15? And mine's saying 1752. But yeah,
Yeah, still not enough, but yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Either way, it's just
it was fine. It was a good match. Like the Braun returning, I guess, was
predictable.
very predictable.
Yeah, he looked good though. Um, sad part is, did you see the chair shot on Monday night? He got hurt from it.
Yeah,
So now what do they do?
yeah. He was bleeding out of nowhere too. All of a sudden,
Well, and it's weird because it's almost like this is happening, ac- obviously across the industry. Not to jump factions or promotions right now. Will Osprey was hurt with a Apollo driver, and he just got back.
it's so interesting to me when a guy like him gets hurt with a pile driver when they do the craziest shit they could ever do.
Well, and it
And
was
not that a pile driver is all that safe, but like with all the crazy crap they do, a pile driver should be something they should be able to like do pretty safely, and that's what hurts them.
yeah, and it was done by Mark Davis. He was wrestling, I think. Yeah,
It's nuts.
yeah. So it's like a lot of injuries are happening, man. Like you got to be careful who you're in there. Like I feel like the protection aspect of this has dropped bad because, like we said, we'll get to the Cody thing, but that could have been seen the same thing. And the way that Cody's face looks like it's cut in half, but they just gorilla glued it together now. It's like it's all shiny.
Oh, they're brutal.
Um,
Absolutely brutal.
does Gunther
Randy did not let up on that punt at all.
No, and I think he felt bad for it after when he sat in the corner.
Yeah.
Um, Gunther versus Seth or Seth versus Braun do anything for you?
No,
Yeah, I
not really.
I was waiting for you to confirm that because I was the same way.
Yeah, not really.
It it,
Like,
it feels incomplete because Seth doesn't have backup. So what is Punk gonna go be Seth's backup, or are we gonna see Seth just keep bringing in wrestlers from his academy out in Iowa to do this? It's like that's charade's gonna get weird very fast because it already got weird when he had them all in the ring and then they just started running circles around each other like when my 3-year-old has to go to the bathroom. Like, what are we doing here? Do you like it? Just like that's not gonna catch. You know what I mean?
right. Yeah.
So, what do you think they do with that next? Do you think it's just Seth and Braun, and then Gunther goes away for a bit again until they figure out how they want Gunther to cash in that favor that Paul Heyman owes him, or is the favor Paul Heyman owes him? Does Paul double up on that and say I'll owe you again, but you got to help us destroy Seth again? But then that takes away from the fact that Braun's back. That takes away from the fact he's the alpha of the group supposedly.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what they're gonna do. I would assume it's just gonna be Seth and Braun. I don't think it's
It's
gonna
so
be
methy.
a
It's
bigger thing.
so
It
messy with
is. It's
Gunther.
it's it's yeah. It's not good at all.
And you wonder if
And
this is another like TKO involvement thing of just there's too many
right,
cooks in the kitchen right now and everybody's throwing shit in the pot. Um,
right. Well,
side
and
note,
you kind of
yeah,
mentioned this. You kind of mentioned this too, but the rumors have picked up a lot that like that Lesnar's not really done, and that Gunther's favor might be Paul getting Brock back one more time, SummerSlam, and then Gunther retires Brock officially, which would fall in line with the original rumor that he wasn't going to retire until Minneapolis. But that rumor keeps picking up, so I don't know. Maybe
hmm
that would take him out of the Seth thing.
well, and there's a lot of articles I've seen picking up today. None from Sean Ross Sapp, so I won't consider them somewhat legit. But we don't like to talk about this. But the Grant case, he's mentioned a lot in the upcoming documents that are supposed to be coming out in that court case. So this
Right.
might be an ad hoc of okay, we screwed up bringing him back. Let's hide him as fast as possible. And then there's a lot of stuff going around that Brock technically breached his contract because even Triple H didn't know he was going to retire. Which I don't know if I believe that, but that's wild if true. Um, but back to the vision real quick. So we got Bronson Reed, who's still on the IR, right? For something. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, his bicep exploded. Braun's
Yeah.
back, but probably has CTE now, like his uncle. Um, Logan Paul and Austin Theory got the tag titles. Out of the three that are active, who do you see getting a world title, either the undisputed or the heavyweight title first? And this may shock you.
Logan
I think Logan. I think because
before Braun.
I think it just makes sense based on what TKO is trying to do with these celebrities, and he's kind of shined away from the fact that that he was a celebrity before this, and he's a full time wrestler now based on how he trains. I mean, I still think he's a
Maybe. I
terrible
mean,
human.
remember they gave Logan a match against Roman
That's what I
randomly.
mean. They
Remember?
almost cashed it in. already. So now you put a faction behind him, or is that what pushes Logan to become a baby face? As he gets the shot, but then Austin Theory, Braun, and Bronson Reed turn on him just like they turned on Seth.
Maybe, but that might turn them baby instead of him.
Correct.
I think he needs to be the one to turn for not them for it to work.
But
If
what are
it'll
your
even
thoughts on
work.
that? Do you think he gets a heavyweight title first out of that group? Because I also got another hot take for you
I
after
mean, I
this
could
one.
see it before most of them. I mean, Breaker, I think, is the only one that's possibly could beat him to the title shot, but depends on how long they want to do this BS with Seth. So it's possible. Certainly ahead of all of them, and maybe on par with Breaker as far as the chances. Like if I had to put odds on it, I'd probably put him and Breaker around similar odds for sure.
You want another hot take while we're going down this wormhole?
Yeah.
I think Oba gets a world heavyweight championship before Braun does.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, they already
For
decided to
next
have it
year.
be talked about, right?
I think he takes
And
it
like
clean from
Roman, what
Roman.
did Roman say? Like, let's see how you do this summer. Like, well, honestly, this summer isn't that long, right? So,
We're over it.
I mean, I think
We're
you
gonna
could
be in
be
it.
before the end of this year, right? And that was his thing. His thing was to say, maybe by the end of the year. And then Roman comes out and says, "We'll see how you do this summer." Like I could totally see this being Survivor Series,
And then
100%.
what if that's the end of the tribal chief for a while?
I don't think that happens. I
You
don't think that happens,
you
but
do you think he bounces back quickly after dropping to Oba? If he does lose to
I
Oba
don't
at
think he
Survivor,
drops. I don't think he drops. I think Oba gets a shot, but I don't think he wins.
I it's feeling, man.
I just don't.
It's feeling.
I just don't see it because I
It.
mean
I think
you've been building Roman back, so it'd be weird to me.
I think it depends on how hot this bloodline stuff gets again. If it's truly back, and
For
can it
sure.
and can I tell you why I think it's gonna happen this way? I think
Yeah.
Hunter uses Jay to undermine Roman. Jay screws over Roman for Jay to get a chance to become the tribal chief. And then you give Oba the title, and then you have Roman and Jay going at it for a while. But we already know Roman can smash Jay. He smashed the both of them already. I don't think there's any
Oh yeah.
value in that. But
I mean, he smashed everyone in their friggin' family, basically.
I just, this just feels like TKO's saying, who sells the most merchandise right now? Besides Danhausen, like, I think they're like, okay, we don't want to put a title on Danhausen, but who's right there along with him?
It's too bad they don't have like a gimmicky title to put on
The
Danhausen.
speed
That might be
title,
the only thing
the
that
speed
AEW
title.
has. Yeah, but isn't that solely NXT now?
No, I thought it was
Isn't it
just
the NXT Speed Championship now? I thought it
no.
was they renamed it
Uh,
because what's his face just won it.
no, it's just streamed on Twitter. That's all.
I thought it changed. Hold
No,
on,
it's
because I was just
WWE Speed
watching
is
something.
what I see it as. Yeah, it just airs exclusively on X. Lexus
Because
King has it right now, but it's not
yeah,
exclusive to NXT because Andrade was the Speed champion before that, I believe.
no, I know. I thought it was a change to it. That I know it was originally a Twitter only
Yeah,
deal,
not
but
not
I thought
not in the
too
name.
that they. I Yeah, I could have sworn I just heard that the other day.
Yeah, not as it appears on the website either. Like it's just listed with the NXT champion because that's where Lexus King is. This is also
Right.
kind of weird. They're also putting the Evolve men and women's champion on the NXT champions list on the website.
Yeah, okay. So this is weird. This is where I keep seeing it because it was done on Revenge, NXT Revenge. It wasn't even done on Twitter. It was done on their Revenge show, which was what, last week, right? And then, well, this article, so it's just an article, but it does refer to it as the NXT Speed Champion. I don't know. Well, I guess it
Yeah,
doesn't really matter. But like, I didn't think like it seems like it's sticking around with NXT more now, so that's
yeah,
why,
probably. They probably feel it
So
fits
I
better
wondered
over there.
why like Danhausen can't necessarily get it. They just don't have a good gimmicky title for him to carry around, which I've made a lot of fun of them for gimmicky titles, so I'm not going back
Yep,
on that. I just
you
like
have,
he's the right guy to have a gimmicky title.
you have.
So yeah, I'm not pretending I didn't.
Um, um, yeah, I would bring back the hardcore title and just let Danhausen walk around and curse people all day. I think that'll be cool. That's how he wins
I
it.
mean, you
He just
could.
gets
I
good.
mean, you could do something, not now, but you could do something fun with like the United States title with him cursing his opponent
Of
and give
course,
it to him for a little bit. Like, and it'd be fine.
of course.
Oh, you
Um,
know why? Yes, okay, here's the article. You know why I was thinking this about Speed is because they have taken it off X and it is exclusive to NXT now. It had to do with their TV deals and all that. That's why,
oh yeah, because
of
NXT is now
course.
on YouTube now.
Yeah,
So
so that
interesting.
that makes more sense now. That's what. So it gets defended on NXT going forward
Nice,
and no longer on social media, or at least no longer on X.
nice. Um, and on from there, Liv Morgan defeating Stephanie. Did you see the story on this match? Why this was so short? No.
No,
Both of them have been
no.
working through severe injuries for a while now, and they didn't want them to get any more hurt. So if that's the case, why don't you postpone this due to the baseball that Liv have stitched into her forehead, which is believable at this point, and give us Io and Asuka like the internet has been clamoring for? You could have easily pushed this to Monday night or a week from then, just to give them extra time. You gave the women's champion 7 minutes, I believe. 7 or 8 minutes. What are we doing? And how is that respectful? How is anyone watching supposed to take that title respectful at that point? Especially Stephanie, the
Right.
best female in the world. You can't give her time to cook? Like, what are we doing? Like, bro, TKO is slowly pushing me over to Wednesday nights, man. Like, like, I made the comment to my dad the other day, too, and he's like, do you still watch an AEW? And I go, I am because I feel like I get a full card out of them. And I can't believe I said that like to him out loud. But I'm like, it's true. Like when WWE hits on the good promos and they're hitting the bloodline for 3.5 years, you know, the early Gunther stuff when it made sense, bringing back Punk and the issues with him and Seth, that made sense. The issues with Drew and Punk, that made sense. But when they don't hit on this promo stuff and the storyline stuff, and they have 3 to 4 matches on a card and it's 6 minutes apiece, you kind of contemplate like, how do we get back to where we're watching Art Truth do a wedding segment? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just,
I know. It's bad.
how did it happen so quickly? Um, so yeah, that's terrible. Liv wins, called herself the greatest. Did anyone come out and challenge her on Raw? I forget.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So I brought this up to you before. Do you let the world have Jordan Grace then for a bit of time? Or is it too believable that Jordan Grace would wreck Liv?
I think it's too believable that she would. I think that's a tough match unless you get interference, but it's
Yeah.
like that gets old too.
Yeah, because that's all Judgment Day does, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, shortly after that, we got Cena come out, nervous as can be, did well as a host, showed off his shiny watch. Bianca came out, pregnant.
Yes.
So Montez
Yes,
Ford
she
got
did.
right back to work on Monday night because he'd been seeing the prices of that formula just skyrocket with inflation.
Yeah, he also got himself back in shape, I
Oh my
noticed.
God, yeah.
What a difference from that picture, right?
My first thought was, did he wear the same stomach that James Harden wore to get out of Philadelphia? The same bodysuit? Did they share that? Because that's the only thing that would make sense at this point. Plus, I felt,
Harden's crazy with his like
yeah,
weight
yeah.
fluctuation.
And to be honest, when I saw Montez Ford like run out there with how jacked he looked, I felt lazy, Dan. I'm gonna be honest with you. I felt lazy because because we always joke about how big he was in those pictures, and there's me just sitting on the couch eating Cheetos, watching him run a 4.240 down the ramp and slide it into the ring. I felt like total crap after watching him come back. Um, but good for her. Hopefully, she returns to wrestling. Still doesn't look like she was bending that hand that's injured, but we'll see how that goes. She obviously has some well deserved time, so hopefully, all goes well with that. And the big one, Dan, Cody and Orton. What are your thoughts, sir?
I mean, the match itself I thought was fine, was good overall. The Pat McAfee thing was the dumbest thing I've ever like. Well, I mean, close to the dumbest thing. Like in recent memory, certainly the dumbest thing I've witnessed in
Yeah,
fucking in storyline. Like,
yeah,
made no sense. Then the way it twisted, and I like read a story today that said like, in the end, like he had to pull out of the story because obviously, like everyone hated it, and so they just decided to pull the plug. But then the way they pulled the plug was just dumb,
yep.
and like the whole thing was just ridiculous. So, and the coming back as a referee was dumb. Like, I didn't get it at all. But the match with him and Cody I thought was good. The ending was very interesting. Obviously, they left it a little bit open too that it's not over, you know,
Yeah,
or
but
it doesn't have to be over.
I think it's over for now.
I mean, it might be over for now. I mean, certainly he's hurt, so who knows what they're doing. But like, it might be over for now. And then on Raw, they teased Punk a little, so that's interesting. But it, it just it was good, but it wasn't great.
Hmm.
You know, I mean, looking at the card again though, it's probably still my match of the night of night one. The ending definitely was interesting. So
It's weird that it started
very
20.
very Randy Orton esque,
Yeah,
but they definitely too they teased a little more of Cody turning right, like
the black gear.
which has been the slowest friggin' turn
Yeah, it's almost like they're
ever.
afraid of it.
But it's like they're testing they're trying to test it, but like I mean, for a good portion of that match, they were booing him. So it's like I don't know. They should have just done it. They should have just ran. He should have just ran with it
Yeah.
because that crowd was just like, yeah, I'm done with this guy.
Yeah. And he came out in the black and gold gears, so like it was kind of the New Japan Cody when he took over the Bullet Club or was involved in the Bullet Club, and you know you saw it happening, but then it like stopped, and then saw it happening, saw it stopped. I thought it was a good match. I thought it was weird that it started 20 minutes before the bell actually started. So technically, if you look on any of the timesheets, it's only like 25 minutes long, but technically it was 45 minutes long, I believe. Uh, did you see Jelly Roll's comments?
No,
You can tell that something's been bugging him and Pat because he basically came out and said about a day ago, to be honest, he goes, Pat and I had no business being involved in SmackDown and WrestleMania. We just need to go back to doing what we're good at.
yeah, he's not wrong.
No, no, and it's
I mean,
like,
it was fine. It was fine in the beginning when the first thing he did, and like it was interesting, and and he put a lot of time and effort into it, obviously, and like he did pretty good in his match when he had it. But like
and he beat
now it's over.
Kit Wilson, who's bringing back
Right.
positive masculinity, Dan, with the pearls.
Yes. But now it's over.
Yeah,
Like you can only they can only go back to this well so many times. And
yeah.
it's not even just the celebrity thing, it's the fact that it was Jelly Roll also.
Well, right.
Like,
It has to be the right like prolific, like popular person, right? Like you could go back to this if it's Bad Bunny again,
yes.
just based on that entrance that he had in Puerto Rico. That solidified him for the next 10 years if you want to bring him back every other year. But if you look at he's not, but Jelly Roll's not Bad Bunny. Jelly Rolls, you're on your second divorce, and the child support and alimony are just draining your account. Those are the Jelly Roll fans, and they're not turning into WWE on the consistent basis. Like it's just not happy. Like it's just I feel like I don't know. Like this is kind. I felt before Shapiro came out and said what he did. This felt like it was the confirmation that TKO had a heavier hand in what was going on before Shapiro basically came out and confirmed it.
Right.
Because it's like this is so stupid. There's no way I'm blaming this on Hunter because the man that has lived through the curtain call that had to make him eat shit for the first 10 years of his career to the crazy stuff he's had to prove to Vince just to date Stephanie. There is no way this man with that experience that almost died because of the Widowmaker heart attack sat there and said, "You know what I really want to do at Mania? Let's get McAfee and Jelly Roll involved, and let's do it 3 weeks before Mania." This is the same guy that came up with the tank skit for the DX. Like, do you think he's going to? People thought he was going demented. That's why he did this. Like, it made no sense. It was Hunter, and
Right.
I guess there's just a little bit of solace in the fact that Shapiro had the stones to come out and confirm. It's like, yeah, we did that. Without that Cody and Orton match, what do you give night one?
Without their match,
Yeah.
oh God.
Is it a 1 or 2 out of 10 or 5, sorry?
I was gonna say, without their match, we're talking. I was gonna be a little bit nicer, like a 3 or 4, but you might be right.
Is it wrong that with the Cody and Orton match I'm only giving it a 3?
Mm, yeah, you're probably right. I mean, if you were thinking it's a 1 or a 2, yeah, because I would have said like a 4 or 5. I think.
I think
I
it's
I, I
a
mean,
3 at best.
all said and done, I was going 4 or 5. Like,
Yeah, I think it's a 3 at best.
yeah,
it's just so weird that it started 20 minutes before the bell actually rang. And then McAfee did that weird thing of where he's jumping up and down in the ring like he's on a trampoline every time Orton kicks him. And it's like either get involved or get out of the ring. Like him jumping up, like it's almost like it is what it is. He's gone for now, so who cares? But like, and you know what? I think it's a 3 because of Paige coming back too. Paige coming back and Randy and Cody's match, I think, bring it up to a 3. Because Paige, let's be honest, we saw Paige at AEW. She looked severely uncomfortable every time she was in that ring at AEW. She just looked like a fish out of water. She looked like she didn't belong. She like they tried to put her in with Ruby Riot in that faction. Ruby got older and slower, looked like she couldn't hang anymore, which I don't think she's been back to AEW. So it's like, I just don't see it. Like, I just like, I don't know. It's kind of like when Brett came back to talk to Sean. Like that's what Paige coming back to WWE felt like. Like this makes sense. She belongs here, type thing. You know what I mean? She
Yeah.
won the Butterfly Divas title from AJ Lee, who's on the same card tomorrow or the next day. Her debut. Like that is GOAT status in some of the women's careers. Like that's wild. But
Yeah.
I so I'm saying 3 just based on those factors. And moving over to night 2, once Nikki comes back, I would love to see Paige and Becky. Because Paige has all the ammunition. You beat AJ once. I beat her my first time here at the big leagues. You don't have that diva title if it's not for me. If you want to talk about who's brought along the next generation, you can thank me. And then Becky can take the shots about her sex tape or whatever and all the stuff we expect her to take shots at, right? But she could take those shots, but Paige will still be telling the truth. Because technically, there's no Divas title to continue that run for them without Paige. She was handpicked. She was handpicked to send AJ away for a bit. Like, that's wild. And
Yeah.
I don't think,
Yeah.
like, the internet just kept making jokes because of the tapes and whatever. And it's like, all right, I get it. You guys are just excited that you're outside at a bar for WrestleMania because your mom can change your clean sheets then. Like, but, like, let's let it go. Like, the legend's back. Let her be comfortable at home. Now, night 2. Was it the right move to start it with Brock versus Oba?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too, because I think it forced everybody to be in their seats.
I think that, and I think it helped. It helped put eyes on it. If you weren't an unlimited ESPN Unlimited member, like probably we're gonna watch it, and
Yep.
maybe it was gonna be enough to say, hey, let's see the rest of this show. Because the ladder match right after that too, like I think was the right call.
Can I tell you, night 2 felt like a Hunter Hearst Helmsley card or a Paul Levesque creative card, and night 1 felt like a TKO card.
Yeah.
Night 2 felt like a wrestling card. Like that's the best way to describe it. Like it felt like a card
Yeah.
we expected to see. And they did a very good job of giving Oba the rub over Brock, but then transitioned it to yes, this is Oba's accomplishment, but hey, what's really going on with Brock here? Because then that keeps
Right.
that without a slight heartbeat until you ever have to use it again, right? He started crying. Paul started crying. Blah blah blah. Paul got into a fight with a newspaper outlet the next day, saying on Twitter, "Well, thank you for only taking my words out of context. What I said was 2 or 3 weeks prior to WrestleMania. The most prolific combat fighter in the world does not retire. He goes, obviously things change or whatever. Crowd chanting Oba's gonna kill you makes me feel like I was watching Samoa Joe's debut again on NXT. It was
Yeah.
awesome. Thoughts on the Intercontinental match?
I mean, I thought it was good. I don't remember if I picked Trick or Sammy, but I think it was the right call with Trick going over.
Oh no, sorry for the Intercontinental Chip
You said
ladder
Intercontinental.
match. Yeah,
Yes, I was thinking.
the
Yeah,
U.S.
sorry.
No worries.
Um, yeah. Um, I thought the ladder match was good.
Yeah.
I thought it was real good, and I thought it was another good thing to have on the free-ish
Yep.
version
Attracts
to
eyes.
get some more eyes on it. Huge Penta fan, so happy he won.
And Javon Evans looked great, jumping through the roof
Yeah,
again. Looks like nothing affects this kid whatsoever.
no,
And I didn't expect
it's very good.
Ray to take the bumps that he took in this match. Like with his legs dangling on the ladder, and then I think JD gave him like the shotgun drop kick in the chest while hanging from the ladder. And then I believe he got thrown into a ladder or a chair, and then he got thrown outside the ring, landed on Rusev's chest, and they both went through the ladder. Like those all felt like spots of like maybe this 50-year-old Rey Mysterio should just like call it after this match. Like because I didn't expect like he just returned from broken ribs. So it's like
Right.
you have to be feeling this. Followed it up by Finn versus Dom. I think to be honest, I think this card was laid out perfectly. I don't have any issues with the way this card was laid out. Like I told
Yep.
you on last week's episode, I think the only thing that kind of pissed me off was them announcing the demon, and they should have just let Finn showed up as the demon. I I think the crowd would have went twice as loud if he just showed up as the demon and it wasn't said, "Hey, that this is what's gonna happen." That's the only thing that felt like a TKO type push to do, so that they could sell that demon stuffed animal that they have on WWE Shop for $90 a pop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
I think that match was probably a 4 out of 5. What did you think? I think it went quick, but I thought it was a 4 out of 5. They had some cool stuff in that match, and I like the fact that they switched it to a street fight match on the pre-show. They said it was going to be
Yes.
a street fight match.
Yeah. They did it on the fly.
Yeah,
Right.
so that's cool. I always like that. Throwing in tables and chairs. Let's do it. Um, and I thought the finish of the coup de grace through the table was something that we haven't seen out of Finn before, and that's awesome.
Yeah. You're right. I can't think of a time when we have. So
No, because it's so close that he could probably break his ankles if he doesn't go through that table. Right? Like if the guy doesn't break through that table cleanly or roll an ankle because his foot will slip off, the $1,000,000 question is what do you do with Finn now? He's out he's out of the group hunting on his own now. Do you send him
yeah.
after the US title?
Hey,
But
you
then
just gave it to Trick.
right.
Like, what are you doing there? Right?
Do you have Finn help Seth to bring Seth into the limelight? Even though it doesn't make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't make sense.
No.
So I feel like it's not good.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
This is another. We were talking about it with Drew. Like, it's another thing. They just don't know what to do with them.
Right. It's like yeah. Yeah. But it's crazy because when Finn had to drop the title because of the collarbone and shoulder issue, Kevin Owens beat Seth Rollins for that title.
Right.
So, and it's crazy because who did. Million point question for you, Dan. Who injured Finn Balor at SummerSlam?
Wasn't it Seth Bucklemon?
With the power bomb
Right.
on the wall outside. Yeah, the
Yeah.
guardrail
Yeah.
power bomb. Yep. So it's like there's a slight connection, but it's like what do you do with him now? You can't just have him come out at the demon and then say, "Okay, Finn, we'll talk to you in 3 months from now."
Right.
Like, does he start hanging around Damian Priest and R-Truth again?
Suppose he could. Maybe he goes after. Maybe he goes after JD. I don't know. Just like
Just to destroy the Judgment Day?
completely try to go against the Judgment Day, but I don't know.
I think there's only one solution for this, Dan, and I mentioned it about 3 weeks ago. Do you remember?
No.
Demonhausen. Let's run with it. The number one guy selling merch, teaming up with Finn for tag titles. Danhausen tells everybody you are cursed, and then out of nowhere comes Finn with the coup de grace or the sling blade. You know what I mean?
You could.
If
You
Finn
could.
if Finn is at AEW or TNA, is he the best wrestler on the roster? Because I was thinking about this too when I was trying to figure out what they do with Finn. Because I do think Finn,
Um.
if he doesn't get a push soon, I do think when the contract's up, we see him walk away from WWE. I think he's content with walking away because he knows what he's done elsewhere and what he could do elsewhere. But do you think he's the best on those other rosters? Because I'm trying to see who I put ahead of him right now on the WWE roster. And there's only one person I put ahead of him right now on the WWE roster.
I mean, I think he's probably the best on the TNA. On AEW, I mean, probably up there, but I mean, there's a lot more.
Who do you put over him?
There's on AEW's roster. I mean,
And you have to
you
think of,
talking just wrestler or
yeah,
like
just wrestler. No,
total
just
package?
in the ring
Oh,
of what they
just
could do.
wrestler.
If you're saying Kenny, you have to go with this current version of Kenny. We don't know what's going to go on with Osprey now.
Yeah, well, I was about to say if Osprey wasn't hurt, I think you could put him up there.
I I think there's one person you put over him in AEW, and this person is
I
very
agree with you with Kenny.
undervalued.
Like you can't count Kenny now, but um,
I I think there's one person that's so good at everything else that they do that people don't realize how good they are in the ring, and that's the only person I put over Finn right now at AEW.
who?
MJF.
Oh, MJF. Yeah.
I think
Well, that's
he's.
I mean,
I, I think he's
but
slightly,
technique.
te- but I think I think his technique is slightly better in the ring because we don't normally get to see Finn go all out like this all the time. But we see MJF wrestle the same way time in, time out, the consistency. And even if something's slightly off due to the person he's in the ring with, MJF takes all the crap for it when it's not even his fault. I think it's very close. I think you could say 1A, 1B, but I think on any given night, I think MJF is slightly over Finn. And if you
Yeah.
asked me before WrestleMania who I thought was better than Finn in the ring in WWE, I probably would have told you nobody. After WrestleMania, the way that Roman has learned how to tell a story through wrestling, I think it's the same thing. I think it's 1A, 1B with him. in WWE. And I would not mind if Finn somehow gets involved after Jacob does. Because I think that's very compelling. Finn and Roman. I think that's more compelling than Jacob and Roman right now.
Yes. Well, I agree with that.
Because
I
I
don't think
think
Jacob and Roman is super appealing other than the family part of it, but
I think it could be good, but I think we're gonna get to the point where Roman beats him, and then he's just starting to collect some Moans like they're Infinity Stones again, and then he's just gonna join Roman. But I think Finn is. You look at Finn and you go, "Yeah, this guy's a champion. He already was. He beat Brock. Like, what are we talking about?"
sure.
But to continue on with night two after that tangent, Finn Dom, very good. 4.5 out of 5, I would say. I was very involved in that. Loved it. I take a half point away just because they announced the demon when I think that crowd would have been white hot if you just let him come out to that and grab the heart that way. Um, you're right on Sammy and Trick. Do we get heel Sammy now? Because the crowd hated him
Probably.
so much? Like, does he go off of that? That because of you people, I lost the title? Because that's what it feels like we were going
Probably.
towards. Yeah. Jade and Rhea. Happy that Rhea got her belt back. I think Jade is kind of in the Finn Drew category, but I think that's her fault. Because I don't think you can put her anywhere else because I don't think she's developed enough. I
Yeah.
I think she needs to go
Yeah.
back to the tag titles.
They got to figure that out.
And I think her drop off should be studied by every up and coming wrestler of why she hasn't developed. And it could possibly be the way that it's been confirmed how she walks behind the curtain, how she thinks she's privileged to everything, how she's not really training the way she was training before. Like, like wrestling's not like riding a bike, man. Like you miss a couple days, your stamina looks crazy. You get sloppy. You can drop people very easily. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it could get dangerous. So I'm glad. And I do believe that heat backstage between the two of them was real. So, any issues with Rhea getting the title back, Dan?
Not at all. Not at all.
Rhea switched to SmackDown now, I think I read. Do you implement Jordan here?
I think you have to freshen things up because what else are you doing with the women, right?
I I think we're eventually getting to the point that you had of like where we get Charlotte again, unfortunately.
Probably.
Just because her last name is Flair. So, um, and the best WrestleMania match we've probably had in the last 10 years, Punk versus Roman. And I'm going on video and recording saying that. I think this is better than all the surprises that we had when Cody won the belt. This told a story. Even R- Roman came out and said, just like you sent the tweet over, I still hate you. I hated you for years, but it was magic when we were in there together.
Yep.
Do you think that makes sense the last 10 years, the last 5 years? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean,
It's
as
tough.
far as like telling a story, I think as far as telling a story, I think that's Roman Cody 2 might have been better, but obviously the ending kind of made it weird, over the top, like odd and maybe gimmicky, but um as far as like true storytelling through wrestling, yeah, it's one of the better ones for sure. So I could go with that on the last 10 years easily.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great, man. And it was also awesome on Raw when the Usos were standing behind the curtain and he said, "Let's go. I missed this." And they just walked out together.
Yeah.
Um tie this all together with Raw. We had the debut of Ethan Page on the main roster. Very happy for that.
Hmm.
Very looking forward to an Ethan Page Ultimate Edition to be out very soon. Um, like you said, the door's open now between Punk and Cody, but I don't think we're getting that anytime soon. I think Punk's gonna go away for a little bit if he doesn't get involved in the whole Seth and Vision thing. Because I do think Punk still has some bad blood with Paul that he would put it aside to go after the Vision if need be. And I think they can make a ton of cash off of that. So Ruka did confront Liv, but then she got beat up. Street Profits came back. Even even Dawkins looked like he was in shape and found the Peloton again, so that's good to see. Um, would you make the Vision drop the titles to them right away? Because I have an
Um,
ideal with the Street Profits, but I wanted to get your thoughts on this that first.
um, I mean, probably. Yeah, probably. I would probably have them drop it.
Have you been feeling like WWE's been missing out on the tag division for both men and women for a while now?
Yeah, I mean, this has been something for years. I mean, because you like they don't have, especially on the women's side, they don't have real tag teams. They just have singles competitors they pair up.
Yep.
And then on the men's side, they've been doing that a lot too. So yeah,
Well, and the signing of the Motor City Machine Guns was supposed to fix that on SmackDown. They won the titles and the crowd didn't
and it
care.
didn't.
Nope.
Right,
Because they were like, they're great. They were
right.
great in Japan. They were great in TNA, but sometimes it doesn't transfer. I would have them drop the tag titles to the Street Profits on Raw. And for the next 6 months, I would allow the Street Profits to run through everybody. Just run. Just you could do it heel, you could do it face, and I think either way they would be so white hot with the titles. They show up, they said they're back, they stay in shape, they look clean, they look good. They take the titles and they just run through everybody that's in front of them. You can even have them do it on NXT as well. Because then I think what it does, if you let them run through everybody, it brings back Montez's confidence, but it also builds up the confidence in the crowd to have in Montez that when they do lose, maybe we get a little bit of Montez and Trick for the U.S. title. And then if Montez has that for a little bit, maybe we get a little bit of Montez versus Roman if we need to spice things up a little bit.
Yeah,
Right? I feel like that's step 8 is just let them run through everybody for a while. Say, all right, you guys are back. If you guys stay in shape, we'll give you the titles for 6 months. Then we'll talk about what we want to do after that. But we need your best. Just think about how white hot that SmackDown crowd was when they had the heel Street Profits. When they were showing up in the all black with BFAB backstage, cutting these promos in closets, swearing all the time before they had the Netflix deal. The fans were clamoring for them to get a shot or for at least Montez to get a push. Like,
yeah.
but to finish the WrestleMania stuff, overall, what are you giving WrestleMania combined? Both nights. A combined
Well, I
score
think night
here.
two was so much. I think night two was so much better that it really drags the whole thing to I'm gonna go with a 7 out of 10.
Yeah,
I think night two carries night one so much.
I was thinking 7.5 or 8
You
out of
know,
10, just because of how good Punk and Roman
because
was.
I think if you're given right, and if you gave us a night one that was similar to night two, you'd be saying this is a 9 or a 10 show
Yeah, yeah, without a
easily.
doubt, without a doubt. Um,
So
and I think that Punk and Roman is Mount Rushmore of WrestleMania matches. I don't see how you say it's not. Like I would argue that till I'm blue in the face. Because I think that's
yeah,
part of the reason why they're so hot now on Roman coming back with the, the Usos. Because they're like, oh yeah, it's still there. We can still, you know, make some cash off this. Um, did ticket sales look like it was a problem to you?
I mean, in comparison to what it's been, sure, but I mean, we've been talking about this for a couple of years now. Uh, They don't care as much about
No.
that. They their money is made with these deals, these streaming and TV and
And
library deals.
the WrestleMania universe thing they do, where it's $100 just to get in to buy a whole bunch of
Mhm.
gear.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's crazy, man. Uh, back to what our buddy Brendan Thurston, the other Erie County friend. Um, WWE will take in 6 million from the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, an increase from 5 they received for bringing in WrestleMania 41 to Vegas. It's a term sponsor fee in their contract, which included WrestleMania 32 and a minimum of 300,000 square feet of convention space for WWE World and their on-site merchandise store. So that will put WWE's take over 10.3 million in, as the Nevada Governor's Office of Economic Development has already approved, 4.3 million in tax credits.
Okay.
It's wild, man. Like
Wild.
so wild. Um Also, Kevin Nash was talking about this, so I wanted to touch on this a little bit. Let's jump to Raw. Are we back to terrible Raws after WrestleMania now for a while? Because I don't remember last year's being great either.
No, it hasn't. It honestly hasn't been that great in a while.
And was there
It
a
really hasn't.
right? And was there a distinctive difference that you've noticed from this one from the ones in the past? I didn't think about this un- until I went back and rewatched the crowd, but the boomer Kevin Nash was correct on this. It it has to do with the crowd if that helps. It's the same
Yeah,
fear that
no,
they're gonna
I'm not.
have. It's the same fear that they're talking about with the World Cup crowd. If that helps even more. No,
Oh, with ice?
you didn't see no like international celebrations throughout the show in that Raw, like you don't don't normally do. You don't normally see the international fans at that Raw like holding up their country flag and they're doing the wave all show through the breaks, and they come back to the commercials, and they come back from the commercials and they're still doing the wave, and they're still waving their flags, and they got their vuvuzelas. They're doing all that stuff because they're treating it like a soccer game. You didn't. That crowd looked dead.
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
much do you
that's
think
true.
that played into it with everything going on? Do you think it was just the pricing gouge? Like how expensive it is now to fly everywhere, plus what WrestleMania is price wise now. Plus, I heard the hotels, depending on where you tried to stay, that was almost double than what it was the year before. It probably has to be a component, right?
Yeah, it's probably part of it, but I mean, just the cost of everything too
I think
is the biggest thing, right?
I think they really shot themselves in the foot by going back to Vegas the next year.
Yeah, could be.
I think if they were anywhere else besides Saudi, obviously, because let's just wash off that blood money, I think it would be in a better shot. Y- y- You know what I mean? Like, I just feel it. Like, I just feel that way. Um, was there anything that gained your interest on that Raw?
Not really. I mean, if they really do go to Punk Cody, okay, but like,
I
no,
don't think that's happening.
not.
I think Punk's gonna go away for a bit. And how do you put Cody back in a physical altercation with his face looking right there? You have to give the
Well, it's
champ.
gonna be a while for
Yeah.
sure. It's definitely gonna be a while,
So do you
but
think that hurts that title? Like he can still show up, do promos, talk shit to people, but do you think it hurts that title that he may not be able to wrestle? Or do you think he goes back to
I
the
don't
clear
know.
mask, the Kobe with the broken does from the All Star game type mask?
I'm not really sure how much a mask would help him though.
Right. Because it looks like half of his face is just glued together.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how long it's gonna be, but
Not great. Like, th- am I wrong for saying that Raw felt like a throwaway show?
yeah, no, you're not. It definitely a little bit was
Do you think it
though.
picks up at all tomorrow for SmackDown?
I hope so, but I'm not confident. Right? That's the issue.
Yep. 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 So, yeah, it feels like it's a slow build now. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know what's happening here, but I guess there's quick story out there. Um, there's thoughts that AJ Lee could go to SmackDown now that Becky beat her to give her a whole new talent to work with. There's a thought out there that Lyra could kind of split from Bailey, just like Io split from Rhea to go do it. Um, they might move Dragon Lee. I don't think anything's happening with Finn because Dom attacked Finn again, so I don't think we're done there. I don't know, man. I don't think. I don't. Do you have Gunther go after Cody then with that title on SmackDown? Does that make sense? Is that interesting? No, but I don't know what to
No,
do. Like, so does that mean Punk's going to Friday nights now?
I don't know where he's going. I don't actually know where he's going. I think he'll float,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah. I don't think they're gonna tell Punk you have to stay on a certain show, but I do think he'll probably go away for a month or two
Right.
just to kind of do his thing and relax, recover, whatever. Um, but yeah, one thing I wanted to show you before we head out of here. Let me show you this real quick. Oh, don't freeze on me now. Can you see this? So this is how the total
Yep.
viewers and the 18 to 49 viewers is the green. Look at night one, and then look at night two. It's pretty much the same for 18 to 49. Night one is slightly less than the total viewers for night two. And there was a crazy amount of stuff going on that night. Or it was a crazy weekend of events. Supposedly 1.616 for night one, 1.822 for night two. Sound about right, Dan?
Yep.
I think so too. I think so too.
Yeah.
Now let's go to. Let me pull this up. Get that out of here. Get that out of here. Let's hit some storylines, huh? Let's hit some storylines real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick storyline right here. Everybody's favorite alcoholic. Ric Flair calls out WWE's lack of respect over WrestleMania 42 snub. Ric Flair's never been shy about sharing his thoughts or what's between his leg. This time was no different. The two-time WWE Hall of Famer. He's two times. How is he?
Yes, because he's in, I think, by himself and as the Four
Four
Horsemen.
Horsemen. Correct.
Or Evolution. No, not Evolution, right? I think Four Horsemen and as himself.
Okay. Um. Okay. Speaking on the Ariel Hawani show, Flair explained why he thinks he didn't receive an invitation to WrestleMania 42. He believes it goes back to an incident in 2025 involving Ludwig Kaiser, who was dating Tiffany Stratton at the time. I didn't get an invite to WrestleMania because I threatened to beat up Tiffany Stratton's husband last year and I wasn't allowed to go. A 24-year-old kid being threatened by the 76-year-old man, and I can't go to WrestleMania. Are you kidding me? Flair said. Last year, Stratton made some controversial remarks on Charlotte's divorce, and Ric Flair believes Stratton is not smart enough to have written that all that by herself. Yeah, that's a comment like that's probably not why he wasn't allowed backstage, Dan. Um,
No, probably not.
like, what are we thinking? Like, does anybody care that Ric Flair is not getting invited anymore?
I mean, I don't.
No. Like, I would expect to see him at the Hall of Fame show, maybe, but I didn't even stay up to watch that this year because that started at 1 a.m., I think it said.
Yeah, I didn't watch it either.
So,
They got to fix that too. It's
yeah.
kind of ridiculous they do it that way. I don't understand why they do
Yeah.
that.
The other thing I wanted to talk about, there was a story that Brendan Thurston had about how Vince McMahon's comeback was anticipated by Endeavor. Vince retired 22, immediately viewed by Endeavor's executives as temporary, with the internal messages predicting his return in a future sale or merger within months. A newly disclosed text message and court filings show the Endeavor leadership anticipated Vince McMahon's comeback the very day he announced his July 22 retirement. According to Post Wrestling's reporting, Mark Shapiro texted colleagues within hours McMahon stepping down, stating that Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon would run WWE for roughly 9 months before Vince returned, either a new board by taking the company private or by selling it to Endeavor. Shapiro was spot on, accurate. McMahon returned in January 23, 6 months later, not 9, using his controlling share power to reinstate himself to the board, remove directors. WWE immediately announced it was exploring strategic alternatives, which led to the WWE UFC merger, forming TKO. Do you think they're going to run into trouble now with this merger? I know it's passed and it's approved, but sometimes this stuff can get broken up based on what gets disclosed after the fact.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we've ever had more lawsuits against WWE since the steroid trials than we do now. And it seems like all this stuff is getting out from TKO's end. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't. And I guess there's a text message that Emmanuel reportedly told McMahon, I'll be your greatest partner, underscoring the expectation of future collaboration. No,
I don't know about all that.
Here's where it gets a little bit sketchy, and it's raising some concerns in the lawsuit. There's also evidence that McMahon, Nick Khan, and Triple H use encrypted messaging signal
Mhm.
during this period, raising preservation concerns in the shareholder lawsuit.
Yeah.
So there was technically no regulation of FD, which is the fair disclosure reg for this then. Because that signal chat kind of eliminates any fair disclosures. At the worst of what could happen to this, what is it in your mind based on your profession? Do you think they break this up?
No, I don't long term think they do it. I think they probably fine them and they maybe
Just
rattle
fines
them a
after
little bit, but
fines?
I don't think they're,
How big are you thinking?
yeah, settlements probably. Oh, it'll be easily,
Billions?
I don't think it'll be billions, but I think it'll be hundreds of millions for sure.
This is just like it.
Maybe half a billion.
This is this is kind of the fair, like one of the fears that I've had in regards to like them being involved with Endeavor, because we heard of this type of stuff with like with UFC all the time, but it could never be proven. But now that all these text messages are coming out, yeah, I don't know. Like it's just like there's this too that came out, I think, on Wrestling News 4 hours ago. Yeah. So this is basically secrets exposed in courts involves Vince McMahon's lifetime TKO role. So he's never going away. And it basically they asked Shapiro, so you didn't view him as executive chair for the future success of the combined company, right? And he goes, correct, especially with all the baggage. But at the end of the day, Vince's remaining with the company was a Vince goal, not an Endeavor goal, right? Wasn't our goal? Wasn't a goal of ours? No, no, it was not. And he said, I would have body slammed him if he, Vince McMahon, thought he was going to leave, because I said to you before, here's a man who's seen around the corners at every beat over the last 40 years of this business, has a vision for where this business away before a lot of people see it. Him now being able to utilize what we built in our flywheel, I'm the luckiest guy in the world because I got Vince McMahon, a visionary that sees around the corners. When asked directly if he wanted Vince to stay, Emmanuel said simply, oh my God, yes. An Endeavor had conditioned that the proposed increase in valuation upon McMahon's serving as executive chair of the newly formed company until his death, resignation, or incapacity, having the right to nominate 5 WWE representatives to serve among the 11 total directors on the newly formed public company board of directors, and having a veto right over certain transactions in case until he's sold down to be an agreed percentage of equity or no longer serve as the executive chair. WWE advisors discussed with WWE board that Endeavor stated these governance changes were fundamental to Endeavor's thesis for pursuing potential transactions in light, among other things. Endeavor's belief that Mr. McMahon continued leadership, if contemplated by March 23 Endeavor proposal, would be critical to the value creation driving Endeavor's desire to engage in potential transaction. In other words, that McMahon's executive chair role a core condition of the entire deal, but Shapiro told lawyers under oath that keeping Vince was not an Endeavor goal at all. These two accounts simply do not line up. Scheduled to go to trial in June. The merger lawsuit. Once again, driven by TKO and Endeavor. And like I said, I think that'll be the depth of professional wrestling from a Vince McMahon WWE point of view. But then
Right.
that helps TNA and AEW. I guess. Like, this is terrible. This is terrible. Is it bad that part of me wants to see this get broken up? Like, a large part of me wants to
I
see
mean,
this broken up to see WWE go back on its own. But then what happens to the ESPN
I
deal,
don't
you
know if
think?
it's bad, but see, yeah, I don't know how any of that would work. Like, if it did get broken up, then I'm sure all these streaming deals could get
Avoided?
ended if they wanted to, like
Yeah.
terminated, right? But I don't know how any of that works. But it wouldn't be the company anymore, so I guess the contract would be void because you don't have it with the same company.
And then do they go after WWE or do they go after TKO if they felt like there was liable dead damage there? Would it be both of them? Or would it just be the parent company of TKO or Endeavor?
Well, Endeavor would just still be Endeavor, and
Yeah, but
TKO would be gone,
so then, yeah,
right? Because TKO is 51% owned by Endeavor.
yeah,
So Endeavor would still be that, and I think they would still have UFC,
yeah,
I think, because they had it before the
yeah.
merger, right?
They would just lose
They just
everything
ended up
relating to
putting it under
WWE. Yeah,
TKO.
yeah, it's the parent company.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
So
So here we are, waiting for June to see how this goes. Follow Brendan Thurston on Twitter. I'm sure he'll be having all the details, and it'll be excellent as always. It'll be a hell of a time. Um, I guess anything else you're looking forward to this week, Dan? Besides hopefully a way better SmackDown than we had Raw. Like, do you expect them to pull you in on Friday night, or you think it's going to be a few weeks?
I think it's going to be a few weeks.
Yeah,
So
I think it's going to be at least a month. I think at least a month.
yeah,
So this is the downtime. So we will see how the podcast schedule goes. If there's not really anything to talk about because we're still waiting for something to build, we'll probably hold off and just mention it on Twitter and then do it bi-weekly. But then, anything else you think we
yeah.
missed talking about, Dan?
No, I think we're good.
All right. Well, that's our WrestleMania recap with a little AEW tidbits thrown in there. Um, Lawsuits pending come June. We'll see how that plays out. That's going to be huge. So it's just sad that
Yeah,
that's what's going on in the wrestling industry. But hopefully Vince is eventually gone for good, and Hunter takes over. I got a feeling within this year. Can I call this now, Dan, as we end this podcast? I got a
yep.
feeling Paul Levesque will walk away from creative within the next 6 months.
You think?
I think he's done. I think the lawsuits building up, the bad black eye it gives WWE. Vince is still there giving ideas on creative. Shapiro came out and said they technically have full control. Why do it anymore? You've made your money. You've been COO for however long. You've been in charge of creative. You have money. Your wife has a shit ton of money. You had a widowmaker heart attack. Go enjoy the rest of your life. Show up at the Hall of Fame shows. Show up like Stephanie does to welcome everybody to WrestleMania or a Saturday night main event when the deed be, and go from there. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting. But on a good note, Buffalo's up 3-1 against Boston. Screw Boston. But until then, this will probably be up
Ah,
sometime tomorrow. Like, comment, subscribe. Botch Wrestling Podcast. Botch Wrestling Pod on Instagram. Botch Wrestling Pod on X or Twitter as well. And if you're shopping anything WWE, use our affiliate link. You'll get, I believe, 10% off. So until then, possibly next week, depending on what's going on with wrestling. We'll see you then. Adios, folks. Have a good night.
Fear.